Welcome to the social media boot camp day one. My name is Kelly Welton with Members Direct Home Loans. Just reaching out to many of you to see how your day is going, see where you're at, kind of give you insight where we're at, how it can be of a help or assistance for you going forward as you try to navigate the landscape, also known as social media, how it's going to impact your business. So without further ado, let's roll into it and get going. Social media, obviously, and AI is a big impact or having a big impact on many people today. And that impact is going to be profound. I don't believe it's going to slow down. I think it's going to accelerate. And I think most people would agree, whether it's with video or text or blogs or whatever the case may be, researching for hashtags, all of which are having an enormous impact with AI colliding with our social media platforms that are out there today. So there are how many of them are out there? This is kind of the rundown or the outline of what we're looking at today. How many of them are there? There's a lot. We're not going to list them all. The most prevalent, how do you get to those and which ones do you focus on? That also comes down to your avatar. Who are your customers? What is your avatar? What is your individual profile look like, and who are you trying to market to? You're not trying to necessarily sell homes in Houston, Texas. Maybe you're trying to sell homes in San Antonio. Maybe it's in Denver. Hopefully not. But it's Dallas. So you really want to focus in the areas you want. That gets just to the niche marketing. And that is where you're really refined with whether you're organic or you're paid. So we'll get into that as well. Advertising, that is. So you can get seen and use AI to your advantage. Understanding the social landscape. As of today, or as of a couple of days ago when I pulled this up, there's nearly 4.8 billion users on social platforms. That's almost half of the people in the world, not just the United States, the world. Everyone's there. All the eyeballs are there. Average time spent, 2.25 hours per day on social media, which is an enormous amount of time, as you can attest. So having said that, how do you get yourself known? How do you get yourself seen? How do you find the people or allow them to find you? If you're not being found, you're in jeopardy of being forgotten. So home buyers today, 51% of home buyers are finding their house online with the internet, with the use of the internet. 29%, another 29 is through the realtors. So obviously that's what we're talking to is the realtors now. Combination of that is 80% of the individuals that are finding homes today, buyers that is, are finding it either with a realtor and or first a realtor or the internet first, then they go to the realtor. But one way or another, they're finding it online. And it's important that you are online and that you know how to get online and get in front of the eyeballs that are there. So that's what we're going to touch on. What are the most popular apps or social media apps that are out there now? Obviously, the big ones, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. A little bit less known, Tumblr, Yelp, Google My Business, Reddit, Snapchat. Those are the biggest ones out there. WhatsApp is another one that I forgot to put on here, which is one that's really exploding as well. But those are all the large ones, not all of them, the various different social media apps that are out there that you can actually market on and put yourself out there to get seen or found, however you want to define that. Again, the question is, that's a lot of apps. If I put WhatsApp on there, that's 12. How do I get to 12? And how do I have the amount of time to do anything other than post stuff on social media? Well, if you're trying to do all 12, you wouldn't have time. So you really have to be focused, and you have to be focused on what's right for you, which niche works for you. So what will they do? What's the difference between them? Instagram, obviously, we know is pictures and captions, videos and reels that are associated with it. Very popular with those under 50, although it's growing tremendously on the above 50 as well, but it's still very popular in the younger group. YouTube, obviously, it's more of a video-based. It's not more of a video-based. It is a video-based, but you can put long-form videos on there. And later in the process, whether today or the next meetings, we'll go over how you can take a long-form video and create multiple pieces of content out of that. But the how-to videos on YouTube are very impactful because people are looking for specific things. So it's very action-oriented. If they're going on to YouTube, they're looking to it more often than not for something specifically that they want to do. What's their pain? What are we trying to solve? Facebook, probably the broadest reach of all of them, although YouTube's pretty close, but they have an enormous reach across all spectrums, and it's growing actually a lot with the younger group. Everyone's talking about how it's the mom and dad and grandpa's platform. Not necessarily the case anymore. The advantage of YouTube has and Facebook has is you really have the ability to drill down into specific niches, locations, demographics, language base, likes, dislikes, things that they follow, if you will. You can drill down to a specific niche, which is vital and very important on how you spend both your time, how you post your videos or your messages, and how you spend your money as far as your paid advertisement. You want to be very specific. The more specific, the better your results. Pinterest. Pinterest is a post contents related to your business and other things. You can put on there DIY stuff, decor stuff, fashion stuff. All of that is very powerful. All of that also, keep in mind, with Pinterest, is very dominated from a female perspective. Not to say that men aren't there, but the females are. And a lot of that, a lot like some of the YouTube stuff, it's very specific. They're looking for specific satisfying a need, whatever it is, whether it's patio or outdoor living furniture or design ideas, or whether it's sometimes apparel, whatever it is, they're looking for specifics, and it's very highly actionable. So if you have a product or you're going to put a product out and it's something like that, that'd be one place to do it. Some of the marketing for real estate can be done that way. You just need to tailor it to fit that market. So a lot of what we're going to talk about later in programs is going to be how do you tailor to the specific social networks. All of them have different niches, if you were, or whims. Twitter's more news-based. Twitter is more of what's going on, what's happening in the world today, what's the latest trends. That's where a lot of that is coming out of now, is Twitter. So you wouldn't necessarily you could put a video on there, but you wouldn't necessarily put home tours on Twitter. You could, but probably not the best place to market that. TikTok is another one that's extremely young as far as that goes. One of the biggest or fastest growing subsets of TikTok actually is the 45 and older. And a lot of that is being driven by business. Why? Because business realized that the millennials and the Gen X, that's where they're at. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram and YouTube. Those are the big ones. So you have to know how to reach them. And that's really kind of what we're talking about today. How do you start to reach them? First off is understand which social media platform works the best for you, which one may not be the best for you. So having said that, here's some of their reach and demographics. Facebook's 86% of those between 18 and 29 years old are on Facebook. 77% of 30 to 49 and so forth, 51% of 50 to 65. That number is a little low and surprising for me, but it is what it is, right? Instagram, a little different. You have 67% on there. It's much lower when you get up in the higher age brackets, 23% of 50 to 64% or 64 years old. So if you're really marketing towards the millennial Gen X, okay, you're going to really focus in on Facebook and Instagram, not necessarily if you're marketing for the second or third or last home buyers. They're still buying homes or product that's going to fit that demographic. But that wouldn't be the case where I would actually market. I would actually market for an older generation more towards Facebook. So again, YouTube, very similar to Facebook, very wide reach across all age brackets. People are really looking at the videos, and they have been really for 10 years now. You put a video out and you put the proper header tags on it, your proper keywords in there and the search parameters, they're going to look for it and it'll get shown. If you put it out there the right way, you'll be found, and put it out there enough. That's the other thing we'll talk about later as well, is frequency and consistency. You're rewarded for that, for putting content out that is acceptable, obviously not biased in some way, but good content and on a frequent basis. Give them something that people are looking for, something that's in their wheelhouse or one of their needs or desires or goals or their likes, what they really like. So we'll get to that a little bit later as well. TikTok, the youngest or the newest one, aside from some of the AI programs, but TikTok, as far as social media, the newest one on the program, along with what's up. But TikTok is fastest growing, although it's got a lot of bad press lately. I don't expect it to go anywhere. Federal government has outlawed it. State of Montana, I believe, has outlawed it. Doesn't mean that people are not going to use it. They also put speed limit signs, and if you go above that, that's against the law. Does everyone pay attention to it? Rarely. Go and drive on the freeway now at 55. See how fast you get run over. Doesn't mean that they won't, mean that there may be some regulatory issues they have to pay, or they need a bigger or stronger lobbying group. Target marketing. Organic or paid, you can do both. You can do a combination of both, but it really boils down to, first and foremost, who's your audience? Who are you trying to target to? Who are you trying to market to? Like I alluded to earlier, if you're going to try to show homes in San Antonio and you're here in the DFW area, I mean, technically you can sell homes in anywhere in the state of Texas with your license, but would you really want to try to do that? Showing homes all the way down in San Antonio, okay, could be a stretch. I would recommend, and most people will recommend, a little more niche. Get closer to home. What are your identities? What are your likes, dislikes, your hobbies, things that you enjoy? And what's your client's avatar? What are they looking for? Who's your niche market? Going forward, most of the homes are going to be millennial and Gen Xers as far as buying first-time and second home buyers. The people above 55, my age and above, they're looking at buying their last home or selling and downsizing. Not a lot of, there's still going to be some, obviously, traffic there as well and purchases there as well, but the lion's share of it's going to be on the younger crowd. So you need to market there. Organic marketing is really getting back to the niche. You can go to the right platforms, rely on word of mouth. Your hashtags and keywords are vital. However you put your message out there, as far as getting it out and getting it seen by the right eyeballs. It's one thing to post a video or post a picture with a catchy phrase or a catchy tag or whatever. But if you're not posting it with the intent of the right eyeballs seeing it, meaning hashtags and keywords, then you're not going to be found by the right. You may eventually get found by the right people, but your chances are, and the probability is much lower. So you really need to be focused in on how you're doing that. And that is how you can get things or get yourself seen easier. Paid marketing is exactly what it sounds like. You can do the pay-per-click with Google. You can do the Google ads. You can do YouTube's ads. You can do Facebook ads. You can do LinkedIn ads. You can do Instagram ads. All of those have ad platforms that are available. The most common, the most profitable, I think, from an ROI standpoint, are probably YouTube and Facebook. And those are also the two that allow you to drill down the most into your organic, or not your organic, your individual niche. 10-mile radius around Allen, Texas, or new home buyers, or people that want to buy a home that are married with 2 kids, family-based, if you will. Those are the things that you need to drill into, and those are what we'll talk about later as well. But that's using your marketing dollars and being very precise with your marketing dollars. So being precise and being niche oriented also is going to give you a higher return, because you're looking for people that are like you. Know, like, and trust, right? That's the basis of marketing 101 and sales 101. People work with people they know, like, and trust. So first they have to get to know you. Okay. Having said that, that gets you to the avatars, not just your avatar or your client's avatar, but yours as well. And what I mean by that is, who are you? Where have you been? What's your background? What do you like? Do you like grilling? Do you like classic cars? Do you like going to concerts? Do you like pickleball? Or are you a tennis player? Or a golf player? Or are you a swimmer? Or are you a diver? All of those things happen to be you, which make up you. All of those go into an avatar input sheet, as I call it, where you put in your ideal client. I suggest you start with yourself. Some of the successes, some of the failures, some of the goals, some of the likes, some of the dislikes, where you've been in the past, where you'd like to go, places you'd like to see, what's your bucket list. All of those things go into the mosaic known as you, or your avatar. But that's also where you pull out your pillars. Pillars are 3 different categories, and you can go, some people will say 3, some people will say 5. I think 5 is too many. I stick with 3 because it keeps it simple. 3 pillars. And the pillars are obviously your number one product. You're going to be selling homes. Okay. If you're selling homes, that's one of your pillars. The other ones are going to be your likes, your interests, your hobbies, things that you find interesting that are based on your avatar input sheet. Those are the areas that you're going to create pillars in. And then you create your marketing around those pillars. The rule of thumb is some people will say 90-10, others say 80-20, and that is 80% of your advertising or marketing or posting, if you will, videos or text or whatever, or pictures should not just be your product, not buy now, but who are you? What do you do? What do you like? Pictures of you at a car show, pictures of you or a video of you at a concert or at a baseball game, at a Rough Rider game, at a Ranger game, at a Mavericks game, at a Cowboy game, whatever it happens to be, wherever that happens to be, those are part of your pillars. That's what makes up you. That's also what makes up your client. And what I advocate is you do an avatar for yourself, really drill down. What are your three things? What are your three pillars? Create three pillars that you're going to really drive your marketing down these channels, things that relate to these channels, and do the same for your client. And here's your ideal client. You don't know who your client is, but you know who your ideal client is. Drill down. What do they like? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? Are they family? Are they Catholic? Are they Protestant? Are they Methodist? You can go religion, you can go politics if you really want to. Those are issues that I don't typically touch on, but you can. You can go, do they like race cars? Do they like NASCAR? Do they like Formula One, etc.? What are their likes? What are their needs? What are their pains? What are their goals? And what are their fears? Right? Here's an excuse me. Here's an example of the avatar form, input form that I referenced before. Background. I call them anti-avatar prop. I put a picture on there of your avatar. What's his background? What's his age? Where do you go to school? What are the challenges that he faces today? He's trying to climb the corporate ladder. Demographics, say from this area. Where does he want to go? Where does he want to live? Does he want to be close to a lake? What are his hobbies and interests? What are the common objectives that he has? The things that he's holding him back from making a decision as far as a home purchase. What are the goals? What are some of his accomplishments? What he or she, in this case, it's Andy, so I guess that could be either a he or a she. What are the accomplishments? What are they most proud of? What have they done? What are they happiest about, most proud of, if you will, kids, etc. Fill in as many as you can. What are their biggest fears? Do they look at the economy and go, oh my gosh, they're watching the news all the time? I don't know. That could scare you enough as it is. Anyway, out of those boxes, 8 boxes up above, you develop 3 pillars, as I mentioned before. These are your content pillars, and you can put some of the stuff in there, whether it's recreational stuff, outdoor fishing, grilling, golfing, soccer, pickleball, NASCAR, going to sporting events, Rough Riders, Rangers games, etc. Put that in one pillar. Another pillar would be your real estate, whether it's new home, existing homes, additional dwelling units, or granny flats, as they used to be called. Are you looking for land? Are they looking for lakes? Are they looking for access, ability to get to the freeways quickly and to get downtown because of commuter issues that you want to address? Maybe pillar 3 is some of your goals, where you want to travel, where you want to go, where do they want to see, what do they want to do with the kids? They have young kids. Your ideal client have young kids. So is it high schools that are important for them? Is it college? Is it SEC versus the ACC or the Pac-12? Whatever it happens to be, you can then use that as a pillar. And then you develop individual content based on those pillars and post within your prescribed niches, if you will, because this will help you also create your niche. Post within that niche on the social media platforms that are defined to be the best, or determined by yourself to be the best for you and what you're trying to accomplish. So whether it's Facebook or YouTube, or whether it's Twitter, or whether it's Instagram or TikTok, whatever the case may be, we're here to help. We're here to help guide you along the way if we can. We don't know all the answers, but we're sure here to help. Our whole goal is to help you build your business. You build your business, we build our business, we all flourish together. That's the intent, that's the goal. So, which rolls me to my next program. The next program is, we do have a VIP program for those of you watching, those of you interested. A few of the highlights, it does have limited space because there's only so many people we can handle at any one time. We have bi-weekly strategy calls for collaboration. What do we want to do today? Do we want to do some co-branding? Do we want to do some direct marketing? Whatever the case may be. Provide weekly and daily tracking tools to track what you're doing, not necessarily track your activity or your final results, but track your activity. If you're not tracking it, it won't improve. If you track something, whatever you're paying attention to or tracking, it's going to improve. So we're a big advocate of tracking daily activities. How many calls did you make? How many postcards did you send out? How many people did you touch? How many hands did you shake? Years ago, they used to call it belly to belly, and that is going and meeting people face to face. Now, very few people do that, but it's still a metric that you want to measure. How do you want to do that? We also have a virtual assistant program. That's part of our VIP program. Limited hours for the individuals based on their production, based on what they're doing and accomplishing and how we can help them. But we will help them. The virtual assistant will help them with Facebook and Instagram posts, YouTube posts, and video scripts. Blogger and Medium is another blogging platform. Content writing, both keyword and hashtag writing. Video editing to some degree, a lesser degree, because it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but let's talk about it. We also have part of our VIP program, endorsement calls, a pre-listing endorsement call. If the individual realtor chooses to have that, we'll call ahead of time. We'll give you the script and we'll go over what we're going to say and really pre-sell you as the listing agent. And then we have the pre-offer call as well. So we'll call the listing agent. First one, we're calling the owner, if you will. The other ones we're calling the listing agent, and we're going to pre-sell you or endorse you before the offer even comes in. You know, it's adds a little bit of credibility, adds a certain level of professional standard for you as a realtor, and gives you another level up or a leg up on some of the competition. So having said that, let's book a call. Let's talk about it. For those of you interested, leave me a note in the chat box and I'll get back with you. But we're pretty excited about that program. It's been very successful thus far. Congratulations. That was pretty quick, 20 minutes, thereabout. 25 to be exact. Anyway, that's the overview of day one. Day two will be next week. We're going to dive into some more of the actual niche marketing within the social media platforms, that is, and your branding. What is your brand? What do you want to be known as? What do you want to be seen as? How do you want to be seen? It's one thing to be seen. Do you really want to be seen in an unflattering and not very nice way? Or do you want to have certain branding? So we're going to talk about that next week. Questions, comments, concerns, check the chat. I don't see anything in the chat at this point, but if you have them, put them in there, and we'll certainly go over those. Give you a couple minutes there. Who am I again? Kelly with Members Direct Home Loans, Regional Manager, Members Direct Home Loans. We are a mortgage broker. We operate in 2 states. We operate in the great state of Texas, and we also operate in California. The reason we're operating in California is spent 28 years in California, moved here about 8 years ago. I like to say I moved here seeking political asylum, so I didn't bring any of my politics with me. I just came to be a Texan. So got here as fast as I could. Any of you have questions, reach out to me, and my number is there, my text number or phone number and cell phone number, and you also have my email address. So short of that, thanks for stopping by. Look forward to seeing you guys next week, and hope you got something insightful out of it. Send me an email, send me a message, send up a flare. Probably not the best way to do it, but if I see it, I'll respond. Take care. Thanks again for sharing, and thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.